All right, let's dive into a movie that's both heartwarming and thought-provoking. Kind of like a warm hug and a good therapy session all in one.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, it's Beautiful Girls from 1996.
Okay, yeah.
We've got a great review here that explores why this film about a group of friends going back to their hometown for a high school reunion still resonates with people today.
Interesting. So what makes it so special?
Well, for starters, it uses that reunion setting to really dig into those universal themes, looking back on your younger self, dealing with dreams that maybe didn't come true, and trying to figure out where you fit in the bigger picture.
It's like when you go back to your childhood home.
Exactly. Everything seems smaller.
Yeah, smaller.
But the memories, those feel huge.
Right.
And in the middle of all this nostalgia, we meet Willie, our main character.
Oh, tell me about Willie.
He's a pianist who's kind of grappling with that classic, what am I doing with my life? Anxiety.
Relatable.
Totally. And the film cleverly contrasts him with his 13-year-old neighbor, Marty.
A younger perspective.
Exactly. She's full of youthful idealism.
Makes sense.
While Willie's carrying the weight of adult decisions and the fear of settling down.
I see. So their interactions kind of become a microcosm of the film's larger exploration of, how our views on love and life shift as we age.
You hit the nail on the head. It's like Marty represents that pure, unjaded part of us that we might lose touch with over time.
Yeah.
And the review raves about Natalie Portman's performance in this role.
Oh, yeah. What a breakout role for her.
Absolutely. But it's not just her. There's a whole ensemble cast here, each character representing a different side of adulthood.
Oh, I love a good ensemble cast.
Me too. Like there's Tommy wrestling with the what-ifs of a past relationship.
Oh, the what-ifs.
And then there's Paul. He's got this almost romanticized view of love that clashes with reality.
Oh, that's always interesting to watch play out.
It is. The review even points out this powerful monologue from Rosie O'Donnell's character, where she talks about the pressure on women to fit into these impossible beauty standards.
Wow. Each character really does add another layer to the film's social commentary.
Definitely. That sounds like the director, Ted Demme, really created this richly layered world. And the review digs into the visual elements, too.
Like what?
Well, it talks about this sense of the small town being both cozy and claustrophobic at the same time. Kind of like a snow globe you can't escape.
Oh, interesting. So that visual motif of snow, that's got to be intentional, right?
I think so. It can symbolize a lot of things, like feeling stuck, isolated.
Or even the possibility for something new, a fresh start.
Right. And the review mentions the intimate camera work. It draws you into the characters' inner lives.
Like you're right there with them, eavesdropping on their quiet moments.
Yeah, exactly. Makes you wonder, is the setting like a metaphor for all those struggles we face internally?
That's a really cool thought. And this whole idea of confinement versus freedom, that seems to play out in their relationships too. Like think about Willie.
Yeah.
He's drawn to Marty, to her younger perspective, because it's an escape from the pressure of being an adult.
Like trying to recapture that innocence, that sense of anything is possible, which maybe he feels he's lost.
Yeah, exactly.
But the movie doesn't shy away from how complicated their connection is. I mean, that age difference, even though it's handled carefully, it definitely brings up some questions about power dynamics, and where's the line between a mentor and attraction?
Right. And it makes us, as the audience, confront our own assumptions, our biases even. Mm-hmm. The film isn't giving us easy answers, which I kind of like.
Me too.
It makes you think about the nuances, of those relationships and how society's expectations shape how we see things.
The review mentions the pacing too, which some might find slow.
Oh, interesting.
But it argues that the slower pace lets us see those small, intimate moments, the ones that reveal so much about who these characters are.
I can see that.
Their vulnerabilities, the stuff they don't say out loud, the weight of their past choices.
It's like the film is telling us to slow down, too, to appreciate the beauty in everyday moments, the subtle ways relationships grow.
You mentioning beauty reminds me of something. The review talks about visual motifs, how they add deeper meaning.
Okay, like what?
We've talked about snow, but there's this image of fire that keeps popping up. Fireplaces, candles,
Yeah.
Could symbolize passion, warmth.
Yeah.
But also this potential for things to go wrong,
For sure.
And the colors, warm tones inside the houses. But then outside, it's all cool blues and grays of winter.
I wonder.
Maybe that's the director visually representing their inner conflicts, the wanting comfort and stability, but also that pull towards change and growth.
Oh, I like that.
These visual cues, they add a whole other layer to the storytelling.
Absolutely. It's like he's speaking to us on a subconscious level, using visuals to make us feel things and really bring home those themes.
Exactly. And speaking of themes, this movie doesn't hold back on the heavy stuff. Love, loss, regret, that search for meaning, it's all there.
Wow, so it covers a lot of ground?
It does. And it does it all with this mix of humor and sadness that feels so real, so relatable. Life is messy, right? It's funny, it breaks your heart, and this film nails that.
It's true.
What's amazing is how it makes these huge, universal themes feel so personal. Each character's journey, it hits you differently, makes you think about your own experiences with love, friendships, the choices you've made.
It's like holding up a mirror.
Exactly. Asking us, what are we clinging to? What dreams did we let go of? And what are we still searching for?
And those are the questions that stick with you even after the movie's over. It doesn't give you easy answers.
No.
But it leaves you with hope. A feeling that even with all the ups and downs, there's still beauty in the connections we make and the choices we have the power to make.
It's like the movie saying, look, life might not go exactly as planned, but there's still beauty to be found in the journey itself, in those unexpected turns and in the people you meet along the way.
Yeah, and sometimes those detours, they lead us right where we need to be, even if we don't see it at the time.
The review talks about how Beautiful Girls has this loyal following, people who love it. They praise how honestly it portrays friendship and that nostalgic feeling for simpler times.
It is interesting how some films become like touchstones for different generations. They capture a moment, but the themes, they go beyond that. They speak to something universal about being human.
Like we're all searching for those stories that reflect our own lives back at us, that make us feel seen. And Beautiful Girls seems to do just that.
Absolutely. It reminds us that even when we're miles apart, years away from who we were, those deep desires for connection, for love, for finding our place, those stay with us.
And that brings us back to you, dear listener. Think about stepping into the world of Beautiful Girls. Which character would you connect with? Whose story feels like yours?
Would you be drawn to Willie and his struggles as an artist? Or maybe Tommy, longing for another shot at love?
Or could you see a bit of yourself in Marty? With her youthful optimism, that belief that anything is possible.
It's a cool thought experiment. To imagine yourself in these fictional worlds and see how your life might intertwine with the characters and their journeys.
It is. It's a way to see things differently, to explore different sides of ourselves, and to find comfort knowing we're not alone in these struggles.
Definitely.
So if you're intrigued after this deep dive, I highly recommend checking out Beautiful Girls. You might find yourself laughing, crying, and reflecting on your own life in ways you didn't expect.
And who knows, maybe it'll inspire you to reach out to an old friend, rekindle a dream you put aside, or just appreciate the beauty of right now, just like these characters do in that snowy world of their past.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Beautiful Girls. We hope you'll join us again for more conversations, insightful and thought-provoking, about the films that shape our lives.